Hey guys, so I got my first buck knife, buck knife today, um, and it wasn't the one that I wanted because they were sold out of the buck 119, the standard one. They had the 119 Pro, which was beautiful and everything, but it was way out of my budget. So what I ended up getting was the buck 192, and this thing is gorgeous. It's beautiful, and what I like about it, I mean, besides the ergonomics and the razor sharp hair shaving, look, let's see if I can, all right, look, this out of the box is shaving the hair right off of my arm. So it's razor sharp out of the box. Okay, it's gorgeous. It matches, this is a bonus, it matches my my grips, but I think I'm a buck guy for life because of the little card that comes with it. And I'm gonna read that to you right now. They come with this card. Now on one side is their forever warranty. But on the other side it says this: a message from the Buck family. As my father, Chuck Buck, would say, if this is your first buck knife, welcome aboard. You are now part of a very large family. We think each one of our users as a member of the Buck Knives family, and we take care of our own. Now that you're a family, you might want to know a little more about us. Dad said it best when he said, the fantastic growth of Buck Knives Incorporated was no accident. From the beginning, we determined to make God the senior partner. In a crisis, the problem was turned over to him, and he hasn't failed to help us with the answer. Each knife must reflect the integrity of management. If sometimes we fail on our end because we are human, we find it imperative to do our utmost to make it right. If any of you are troubled or perplexed and looking for answers, may we invite you to look to him, for God loves you. C.J. Buck, CEO, Chairman of Buck Knives. And then it's followed up with, for God loved the world so much that he gave his only Son, that anyone who believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. John 3:16. So I didn't know it. I didn't know, all these years you hear about Buck Knives, and but I didn't know they were a Christian company. So that's pretty cool. And I've always known they have a great reputation. I do have a buck knife, but it's not my knife. It was my grandfather's, and I got it when he passed. But so this is my first buck knife that is mine. And yeah, it's not really the one that I wanted, but I think this one is more useful than the 119 as far as my uses, what I use it for. I don't do a whole lot of bushcrafting. I don't do a whole lot of camping anymore. I used to, and I would like to again, but yeah, this it's the 192. Oh, what's the name of it? It's Vanguard. It's the Vanguard. So, I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it really is. It's got the brass pommel and the I don't know what they call this, the hilt, brass. It's onyx wood spacers here, and this is a diamond walnut grip. And I'm telling you, now I've looked at reviews, and when I first picked it up, like, I thought it was pretty slick, but it's not really that slick. Like, this thing, I'm pulling on it, I'm kind of hurting my hand doing that, but it's not going anywhere. Like, this doesn't go anywhere. Just like these Altamont grips on my revolver, those Altamont grips are literally, they're designed not to move in your hand. And I'll show you. So there's these finger grooves, but there's also this like palm swell. Like, this thing does not move at all. And add the ammunition that I use. It's low recoil, but high pressure. So I mean, this is a sweet little package right here, and it doesn't go anywhere. And this is the same way. I mean, it's got and I mean, it's got all the right curves and all the right places. So if you see, you've got one little finger choil there, and then another little one right here. I don't know if you can see that, but when you hold it, include the palm swell right there. You can see that. And this thing just, it fits like a glove. It's great. And the steel that they use, it's 420 high carbon. It's a pretty common steel, but they use a Boss heating treatment, which heats the steel to I don't know what the index is, but it's hard. It's a hard steel. It keeps a decent edge, and it's easy to sharpen. And I don't know if you guys can hear this. I'm going to try to hold it up to the microphone, but I've never heard this before on a knife. When I run my fingers over, like, this part of the blade, like, not the edge, but this hollow grind here. I don't know if you can hear this, but like, there's a little zip there. And I've never heard that on a blade before. Like, I don't know what that is, but it's kind of cool. But yeah, I was nervous about this purchase because the blade isn't quite as long as what I wanted. But I've had blades that have, or like fixed blades that are shorter than this that I've been totally happy with, and some of them I still use, like the old timer. I don't even know the model, but it's an old timer. It's a Skinner. It's just the old timer Skinner. That's a great knife. I carried that knife for a couple months, like every day. I don't even know why I stopped carrying it, but this is, I mean, this thing's razor sharp. I literally have no complaints about this knife. The sheath that it comes with is on my belt. It's leather. It's a good thick leather. The sheath is made in Mexico. The knife is made in America. Not sure really why they went that route. Might as well make the sheaths in America too, but probably cuts down on cost. But I mean, this is a beautiful knife. And when the guy showed it to me, because I asked him about it, you know, and he pulled it out of the case, and I looked at it, I was like, man, this thing it's gorgeous. Like, I like wood grips, as you can see. And this, like, diamond walnut, it's pretty. It's a good looking knife, and it's sharp. And all of the other reviews that I've looked up on it, nothing bad to say about it. The only bad thing I've ever heard about this blade is the same thing I've already said, is they think the blade could be longer. But I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, it could be longer, but I don't think adding more length to this blade is going to do anything for it. I really don't. And I've carried fixed blades that are shorter than this one, and I've carried ones that are longer than this one. So, you know, either way. But I wanted a knife that will do anything I want it to do, whether it's cutting rope, cutting steak, cutting open packages. But I have another knife that I use for that, because tape kind of tends to stick on blades, and you gotta wash them pretty good to get all that stuff off. So for like dirtier stuff, I have a different, it's just a pocket knife that I use. But for the heavy stuff, I want a good blade that isn't a pocket knife, because I'll just show you. Pocket knives tend to loosen up. I've had this one for a long time. This is the Kershaw Hot Wire, and it's a good knife. I like it, but there's some wiggle there, and you know, for something that I need a good sturdy blade for, I don't want to trust that. You know, I just don't. But for opening packages and stuff, yeah, that's good. And it's pretty sharp out of the box too. Kershaw Hot Wire. It's cheap. I think it was like $10, $10 or $15 at Walmart. And I've had this thing for years. It's good, but I do have another knife coming in. Well, it's already in. It's at home. I haven't seen it yet, but it's there. It's the Gerber. I don't remember. It's their little utility knife, like the ERC or EBA or something like that. It's ERB, I think. Easy Replaceable Blade or something like that. But it's basically, it's just a razor blade that you put into a pocket knife. And it doubles as a money clip. My stepdad has one, so I was like, well, I want to try that. But yeah, so anyway, I might do a review on that one later too. But yeah, this Buck 192, I'm actually kind of, it grew on me really fast. Like at first when I got it, I was like, I don't know if I'll be happy with it, but if you compare it to the 119, it's the same steel. In my opinion, it looks better. It rides a little bit lower on the hip, which is good for me. And yes, it's a different blade shape, and it's shorter, but I don't know, and like, now the 119, you might want to use the 119 or the bigger one if you do a lot of like what do they call that, sticking or whatever, but where you take a small log and you split it with the knife. You might want something like that for that, but I don't do a whole lot of that. Now if you wanted to like make shavings or kindling, this will work great for that. Batoning, that was the word. It was batoning. But yeah, for pretty much everything else, I think this knife will do it. It'll cut my food. It'll prep food. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, but the main thing I just wanted to point out was this card. Like, I think that is really cool that they put that on there, and they're not afraid to say that, you know, God is the center of what they do. I think it's really cool. So I might just be a buck guy from now on. I don't know if you guys have seen my other stuff, but I'm a real big Spyderco fan. I love Spyderco. I have a lot of their knives. And one of them I do carry on a regular basis in times that I cannot carry my gun. It's specifically for self-defense. The problem with that is I don't use it for anything else because I want it to be sharp when I need it to be sharp. So I wanted a very good quality knife that will do everything I need it to do and won't fail. And I know Spyderco has some of those, but a lot of those are out of my price range. Now, there is one very particular chef knife that Spyderco makes that I really want. It's really expensive, but one day I hope to have it. But yeah, I've had my chef knife for 10 years now, and I do my best to take care of it. So I'm hoping that I can eventually get that chef knife, but it's expensive. But anyway, okay, I'm rambling. Thanks guys for watching, and God bless, and see you next time.